$100. Renters in New York City are always looking for a deal, and believe it or not, rents are dropping in some neighborhoods in the 5 boroughs. But where? Well, joining us now to discuss New York City's real estate trends is Nancy Wu. Nancy is an economic data analyst at Street Easy. Hi, Nancy. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, thank you for having me.
All right, so Nancy, rents are at an all-time high, but where is it possible to find a deal, if it is possible?
Yeah, so it's peak renter season, and Street Easy was interested to see, now that rents are hitting record highs, where can people actually find rents going down? And we looked at the 5 boroughs, and we found a list of 10 neighborhoods where more rentals have been relisting at a lower rent than they were in the past 2 years. And coming in at number 1 and number 2 is Bushwick and a lot of the neighborhoods impacted by the L train shutdown. Oh,
and the L train shutdown. We were starting to hear that there might be actually people fleeing that area. Even though a full shutdown was avoided, your report suggests that housing prices along the L have been slow to rebound. Is that what's going on there?
Yeah, we initially anticipated that when the shutdown was proposed to no longer happen, that a lot of people would be moving back into the areas. But what we see is that there's been a lot of residual inventory left over in Bushwick and Williamsburg and Greenpoint, and that's caused landlords to have to compete with each other for tenants. And one of the reasons that they do this is by lowering prices in order to attract more tenants into the area.
And in Brooklyn, so 61% of relisted Bushwick apartments had lower prices than they had in 2018 and 2017. 59% of relisted apartments in Williamsburg were cheaper, and 57% of relisted apartments in Greenpoint were also cheaper. So we're seeing that Brooklyn, we thought maybe was a pricier area out of people's price range, is starting to come down a little bit?
Yeah, a lot of apartments in those areas, in fact, more than half of them are relisting at a lower rent in 2019 than they were when they were previously on the market in 2017 and 2018. And that just means that there's a lot of inventory in the areas. And if you're a renter who is currently looking in those areas, then it's a really good time to negotiate and potentially find some good deals.
Okay, so what if you want to stay in Manhattan? You have to stay in Manhattan either for your job or just your social life. What are the deals going on there?
There's a lot of good deals in Manhattan right now. East Harlem is number 2 on our list, and then Midtown East, and Gramercy Park, some of the more expensive neighborhoods in Manhattan, are also on our list as the areas where rents have been dropping the most. And part of the reason for that is because when you're looking around Midtown, there's about 800 units that are vacant as of 2019. And when you look around, there's just so many buildings, and in order to differentiate themselves from other buildings, a lot of landlords have to cut prices in order to attract tenants to those areas. So there's plenty of good deals in Manhattan as well as in Brooklyn right now.
Wow, well, seeing Gramercy on that list is probably going to make a lot of people very happy. What about Queens? What are the deals there?
Queens, the only one that came up on our list was Ridgewood, and part of the reason is because Ridgewood is not the easiest commute to town center, and that commuting time drives a lot of demand, and Ridgewood is not so convenient for that. But we actually don't see any other Queens neighborhoods showing up on the list. The sales market and the rentals market in Queens has been performing really well over the past few years. There's been lower prices than in Manhattan and Brooklyn on average in Queens, so we're not seeing too many neighborhoods where prices are going down.
So is now the time? Should renters try to lock their deals in right now?
This is a really good time to lock in a good deal if you are interested in these neighborhoods, because with all this inventory on the market, it's a really good time to negotiate. And as we head further into peak rental season in the summer, more and more of that inventory is going to come off the market.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.